Let's talk about your hometown. Is it a good place to live? My town is nice. I like it there. This answer is correct, but it's so simple. Do you want to try again? Almaty is such a vibrant, diverse city that makes it a fantastic place to live. Hi there, it's Asia. I'm sure you can see that vibrant and diverse is a much higher level vocabulary than nice. And a fantastic place to live is better than I like it there. Your hometown is such a common topic in IELTS speaking that it is a good idea to have some phrases ready. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today. I also have a PDF for you to download. Ready? Let's get started. The very first thing you may be asked about your hometown is its size and location. The question may be, do you live in a city or a village? A handy phrase to indicate the size is with a population of. I live in Almaty, the largest city in Kazakhstan with a population of about 2 million people. If your city isn't large, perhaps it's medium-sized. I live in a medium-sized town of about 60,000 people situated on the south coast of England. You can say that your city is situated on the coast, on the river, on the border. Make sure the preposition is on. If the town is in the center of something, say it's in the heart of. My hometown is a small but vibrant city in the heart of Spain. You can also describe what's surrounded by saying that it's surrounded by mountains, fields, forest, or more generally, by breathtaking scenery. It's a pretty little town surrounded by some breathtaking scenery. You may also be asked about the character of your hometown. For example, what kind of place is it? So let me give you some interesting adjectives to use. You can say that the place is vibrant, which means it's lively and exciting, or that it's bustling, which means it has a lot of people and activity. Vibrant is always positive. Bustling can be positive or negative depending on whether you like busy, crowded places or not. A great idiomatic expression is a hustle and bustle. Please note that we don't pronounce the T's, it's just hustle and bustle, and it's usually used to describe a big city. I love London with all its opportunities, but sometimes I need a break from the hustle and bustle of the big city. If the place has people from all over the world and cultures and ideas are mixed, you can say it's cosmopolitan or diverse, or both. London is a truly diverse cosmopolitan city. Another great word to use is thriving. It means it's continuing to be successful, strong, healthy. You can use it to talk about people, companies, or in our case, cities. I live in a thriving little village in the middle of the Alps. If you're lucky to live in a place like that, then you can say that it's affluent. It means it's wealthy. We typically say an affluent place or an affluent neighborhood. The standard of living has increased and it's become quite an affluent place in recent years. If it's not wealthy, you can still use the word. Just say, it's not exactly affluent, but it's still a great place to live. Okay, if your city is a bit quieter and more relaxed, you can say it has a laid-back atmosphere. And if people are practical and friendly, they are down to earth. Even though the city is growing fast, it's preserved its laid-back atmosphere and people are still very down to earth. If the place is really quiet, you can say it's idyllic, which means it's beautiful and peaceful. It's an idyllic little town surrounded by some breathtaking scenery. And if it's a bit dark and unattractive, you can say that it's rather grim. Rather is often used with negative adjectives to make them a bit softer and more polite. After all, you don't want to say terrible things about your hometown, do you? It's a lovely place to live, but it can be rather grim in the winter. Another way to politely say something negative is it's not especially modern. That's a more positive way to say it's old. Right now, we're concentrating on the vocabulary, but I also have common questions and sample answers for the topics commonly used at the beginning of the IELTS speaking test, including your hometown. And you can download them in PDF format via the link below. And I also remind you at the end of this video. Let's continue. You may be asked about transport in your hometown. Whenever I'm thinking about transport, the first phrases that pop into my mind are traffic congestion. That's when there is too much traffic that moves very slowly, but it's still moving. When it stops completely, it's a traffic jam. I'm sure you know how it feels to be stuck in a traffic jam. Traffic jams usually happen at rush hour or in the rush hour, the time when the roads are full of traffic because people are traveling to or from work. If the question is, what do you dislike about your hometown? You know what to say. I'm not too keen on the dreadful traffic congestion, which means that it takes forever to get anywhere. Usually, I avoid traveling at rush hour as much as I can. It takes forever is an informal expression which means it takes a long time. And a bit more vocabulary. Public transport includes buses, trams, and trains for the public. When you travel regularly between your home and work or school, you commute. You may be commuting by car, train, or bus. Public transport is significantly underfunded at the moment. As a result, most people commute by car. When talking about a hometown, you're likely going to get a question about the facilities in your city. So first, how can you talk about different areas in your town? Let's have a look at the map. The city center is in the center. That's where the shopping district or street is located. You can refer to parks as green spaces. People who live further from the center live in suburbs. Those areas are usually residential, which means there are not many businesses or shops there. Manufacturing companies tend to be located in the industrial zone, while banks and offices are in the business center. Now, let's talk about some more specific vocabulary to describe your town center. Here is a very British answer. What is the center like in your hometown? My hometown is not especially modern and there are no state-of-the-art structures or high-rises. The town center is a typical British high street with a few chain stores and fast food outlets. There is also a good selection of independent traders and street food stalls, which make it pleasant to visit. Something is state-of-the-art if it uses the most modern or advanced techniques. For example, you can talk about a state-of-the-art library, hospital, or concert hall. If your town doesn't have too many of those, you can still use the word just like I did. High-rises are tall blocks of buildings, usually above 10 floors. A high street is the main shopping street in the UK. I think in North America it's called the main street. On the high street, you have some chain stores or well-known stores with branches in most towns and cities. For example, Zara and Primark. Independent traders are the opposite of chain stores. These are smaller companies. You can refer to McDonald's and pizza places as fast food outlets. Street food stalls can also be called food market. These are temporary tables in the street selling a variety of food. Now, let's talk about the economy. What kind of jobs do people in your town or village do? Here is some more high-end vocabulary for different sectors. If your town is visited by tourists, it's a tourist destination, which means you have a lot of hotels and restaurants, which are called hospitality, and shops, which are called retail. My city is a popular tourist destination, so many people work in hospitality and retail. If there are a lot of banks, then perhaps your city can be called a financial hub, and people work in financial services. It's a regional financial hub, and there are a lot of financial services in place. If you live in a village, people probably work in agriculture. Most people in the region work in agriculture, growing a variety of fruits and vegetables. Those who build new homes and offices work in construction. The city is growing so fast that construction is a major employer. All the companies we're talking about work for profit. They want to make money. They're called the private sector. Those who work in government organizations or companies owned by the state work in the public sector. I live in the capital, which means that many people work in the public sector. You may be asked about your hometown in part 3, where questions are longer and more serious. Let's have a look at a couple of them. Some people want to spend their lives in their hometown. Why do you think this is? I think it's mainly because being there gives them a sense of belonging and helps define them as the person they want to be. Somebody might say that they are from Valencia before they say they are Spanish. They have a bond with that location. A sense of belonging is the feeling that this is your home. To help define them means to show who they are as a person. To have a bond with is to have a connection with. The next question is, why do many people leave their hometown? Mostly because of work. In the UK, many young people see it as an opportunity to fly the nest and get new experiences, and this often means going away to university. In some regions, there aren't many career opportunities at all, and people have to go further afield to find decent jobs. To fly the nest is an idiom which means to leave home. In IELTS speaking, you can definitely use idioms. Career opportunities are chances to find good jobs. To go further afield means to go outside their immediate area. Okay, I guess that's enough for one day. Hope this higher level vocabulary can help you give more complex but natural sounding answers and achieve a higher score. Don't forget to download the PDF guide with typical questions and sample answers for topics used at the beginning of the IELTS speaking exam right now. Thank you so much for watching me today and good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!